Thank you very much for your submission, and that has come to the end of our time, so thank you. And we've got Joseph, hopefully on Zoom as well. And this is the last.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, Joseph and Sam. Welcome to the committee. We've got 5 minutes for your submission, and so we do encourage you to leave some time for questions.
Will do.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Goudie, a recent Bachelor of Science graduate from Massey University. Sam Donaldson, a current Bachelor of Laws student from Auckland University. We thank you for the opportunity to speak today in support of the Racing Industry Amendment Bill. We both believe that the bill before us is critical to sustaining our racing industry and ensuring our Kiwi sports and racing bettors are well protected.
Yeah, so the bill's intent to extend TAB's monopoly to online betting is something we believe is incredibly positive for our racing industry and wider economy. Our racing industry generates 1.9 billion of annual value-added contribution and over 13,000 jobs. And New Zealand loses an estimated 180 million to offshore racing and sports betting operators, which means they're currently diverting an estimated 40.9% of potential revenue. Now, we think there's already a well-established case in favour of this bill, as discussed during the first reading and outlined further in our own report. TAB provides 90% of the racing industry's revenue. Secondly, the growth of offshore betting operators has led to a steady decline in the flow of money from New Zealand punters, and therefore we think it's beneficial that the bill is passed to give TAB an online monopoly and protect the racing industry in New Zealand. But we'd like to focus on our recommendations now for how the bill can be improved further.
All right, so as outlined in our written submission, we want to highlight 3 key areas where this bill can be strengthened. Number 1 being accountability and transparency for TAB New Zealand. Number 2 being a smoother transition for offshore platform users. And number 3 being stronger consumer protections to safeguard New Zealanders. So our first recommendation being accountability and transparency. To strengthen accountability, we suggest clearly defining what counts as relevant information in Section 58A, and requiring the Minister to explain how the requested information will be used. This helps build trust in the oversight process. We also recommend regular audits of TAB New Zealand's compliance with information requests and reviews of how the Minister is using their powers. Transparency is key to boosting public confidence in the framework and ultimately trust in our government.
Yeah, so secondly is transition period for offshore users. We believe it's important to facilitate the transition for those with accounts from offshore betting platforms. So we recommend that users are well informed and aided in their transition to TAB. A practical recommendation we think would be good is, for example, introducing a customer support service during this time, like online or phone support, to help users with transferring accounts and balances, which will build trust for consumers and make sure there's minimal disruption.
Yeah, and our third recommendation is to do with consumer protection. And I think we really believe that we need to use this amendment to make sure Kiwi consumers are protected and to a high standard. We strongly recommend providing regular statements on net gambling positions to help consumers reflect on their own gambling habits and ultimately encourage more responsible betting. At the same time, it's important that TAB New Zealand maintains a high quality of service despite its monopoly. So to ensure this, we suggest quarterly updates on complaints, processing times, and system reliability. So TAB is held accountable for upholding high standards.
Overall, we strongly support the bill as a means to ensure New Zealand's racing industry is safeguarded by retaining revenue, lost offshore operators, and to better guarantee that consumers are well protected. We hope that you consider our recommendations. Thank you so much for your time, and we welcome any questions.
Question from Tanya.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, thank you. You talk in your submission about ministerial powers under Section 58A and with the frame of transparency. You sort of indicate that you'd like to see the information that is requested, what it's to be used for, to be made publicly available. That seems to me to be sort of before there might be some resolution, as opposed to after the information has been sought and whatever the Minister determines they need to do with it, then making it publicly available. Do you have an issue with that?
No, we don't have an issue with it. I think that's a good approach.
Okay, thanks.
No other questions? Okay, thank you very much for your submission. We'll come to the end of public submissions now, and just ask members of the public to kindly leave us in private session now. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.